Hey guys, welcome to Living with Flores. If you are new here, welcome. If you are not, welcome back. Today, I am going to be filming a video that is very close to my heart, something that I've been wanting to film for a while now, so we're gonna get that done today. There's a couple things about me. If you don't know, I am super passionate about a few things, and that would be God, family, homeschooling, and homesteading. So that's kind of what I wish to encompass here in my channel, and that's what I would like my videos to be about. So today we are gonna film our first homeschool video, and it is gonna be what I wish I would have known before I started homeschooling. I know there's a lot of videos like this, but everyone's homeschool journey is different. So I'm gonna go over the things that I wish I would have known. If I look down a lot, I did take notes. I'm very prepared today. But yeah, so let's start. The first thing I wish I would have known is you do not have to spend a whole day doing school. I started homeschooling about 3 years ago, and my kids were in kindergarten and pre-K. I set up a classroom in my room, in my house, and now I cringe as I think about that. I'm like, classroom, I was imitating school. I will post a picture here of my classroom. It was actually pretty cute, if I must say. But you don't have to do school all day. Especially at those grade levels, play is so important. So don't think that you have to imitate school. You do homeschooling your own way. You pick your curriculum. You choose what you teach your kids. And it does not have to take all day. Because remember, kids in school, teachers have about maybe 30 kids, right? So it takes all day to teach them because they have to make sure everyone is on track, everyone is doing what they're supposed to do. So there's a lot of busy work in school. When you're homeschooling, you don't have to put a ton of busy work in. So your homeschooling can actually take maybe an hour, 2 hours a day when they're that young. Okay, the next thing is you do not need all the curriculum. I laugh at that one because I watched a ton of YouTube videos before I started homeschooling, like a ton. And there is so many curriculum reviews, so many. And I was like getting to the point where I would watch all these curriculum reviews and I'm like, I don't know, I need them all, I need them all. And then I would watch a couple YouTube videos of moms saying, don't get all the curriculum, like unschool if it's your first year, or do this or do that. And I was like, oh, these people are crazy. I need all the curriculum. Like, we need to sit in our classroom and just do school all day with my little whiteboard and all that. So I bought a ton of curriculum. I actually, like, now looking back on things, it's pretty funny because I bought Gather Around Homeschool, which cutest curriculum out there. Like, the illustrations, everything, so beautiful. But my kids were in pre-K and kindergarten. So it was a lot of reading. I even bought the US government curriculum for that grade level. And I was like, yes, we're gonna learn together and it's gonna be great. And then I quickly realized that this curriculum is not gonna work for us. It's a lot of reading. It's a lot of sitting there. And my kids like to be active. So it just didn't work for us. But let me tell you, I tried to make it work because I'm like, I just spent all this money on this curriculum. We're gonna finish it. We're gonna make it work. And it just became unenjoyable. So you do not need all the curriculum to start. I actually wish I would have unschooled first, but oh well, time goes on, right? All right. Number 3, even when you don't do book work, your kids are still learning. Yes, that is right. Sometimes I feel like my kids are even learning more because they're getting hands-on experience. Don't get me wrong, I still think bookwork is important. Our core subjects are English and math, and then we throw everything else in. My kids are in elementary school, so we still are kind of taking it easy. We are throwing science, history, geography, and all that in as it fits. But I do think that when we're not doing schoolwork or bookwork, my kids are learning the most. This is because they're getting hands-on experience. We have a homestead here, and my kids are very active in our homestead. They help so much taking care of the goats. They help taking care of the chickens. They go every morning and get our eggs. So they're very, very involved in our homestead, and that has made our kids extremely resourceful and huge problem solvers. There's days that they want to do the chores all by themselves, and we have to carry heavy buckets, and they are in 3rd and 2nd grade. They have to carry buckets of water and all this. And the first time I noticed that they were getting those problem solving skills was when they were like in 1st grade, and they realized that it takes a long time to carry these buckets full of water, that they've made like a little train system, for lack of better words. And they would fill up all the buckets and put them in a little wagon and just roll them away. Like, we didn't teach them that. And yes, it seems something so simple, but they were in 2nd grade and 1st grade. And they did this with a lot of things, like when they like playing with our chicks. When we get chicks, they love socializing them and just playing with them. And they would get tired of carrying all of them one by one. So they made a little container, little like carriage for them. And they would load them all up in one box, roll them away. And there you go. They didn't have to keep going back and forth. So when they are doing hands-on things or imaginative play, that is when they are learning the most, especially at this age. They're getting real-world experience, hands-on experience, and I don't think there's anything that can beat that. Sorry guys, it's really early. I'm actually doing this before my kids wake up because it's the only time my house is quiet. All right, number 4. This one was really hard for me, but the concept of your kids falling behind, I feel like now is really not a thing. But when I first started, it was one of the things that terrified me. And I'm like, no, we are homeschooling. They gotta be smarter than everybody else. They gotta be ahead of everybody because we are doing it all at home and my kids are intelligent and all this. Which, I mean, my kids are very intelligent. But not everyone's intelligence looks the same. And that's something that I had to get out of my head because I went to school, I graduated college, all this, and very traditional schooling. So everyone's intelligence does look the same, pretty much. You get graded in schoolwork, graded in tests, and if you fail those tests, then you're not intelligent. But my kids don't have to learn everything. They don't have to learn everything at the same time as everyone else. And if it takes them a little bit longer to get a concept, then that's okay, because we are homeschooling and I can sit there and cater to that child. I don't have to rush and get them through 1st grade, get them through 2nd grade. No, my goal in homeschooling, and I know it's a lot of people's goals too, is to create lifelong learners, not to just create kids that just recite things, that just memorize things because of a test. No, what I want to instill in my kids is that they can learn throughout their whole lifetime. And at the end of the day, as long as they can read and they know how to read, your job is done. I mean, don't give up, but Your kids can learn everything after they learn how to read. Everything that they're interested, they can go to the library and read any book that they want. So if your kid is a little bit behind on a subject or anything, don't feel pressured or that your kid is not good enough or that you are failing them, because you're not. Everyone learns differently, and it's okay. It's okay for one kid to be great at math, and then it's okay for another kid to excel in writing, in art. So everyone has different strengths, and everyone's gonna learn everything differently, and it's okay. It's not a big deal. So 5. This is my last one on the list, but I feel like it's one of the most important ones. So if you stuck around this long, thank you. But number 5, the last one on the list. It's last, but it's definitely not any less important than all the other ones. Sorry, I'm watching my baby. He's still sleeping, making sure he is still sleeping. But your homeschool doesn't have to look like everybody else's. That is a trap that I fell into in the beginning of our homeschooling journey. I thought that in order for my homeschooling to be successful, I had to be like everyone else on YouTube, like everyone else on Instagram, on Pinterest, having all these beautiful personalized unit studies, having all these amazing like curriculums and all that. And I did do all that, and then I realized that we were getting burnt out. It was like, this could not be the way. Like, if that works for you, cool. But it didn't work for our homeschool. And that's the beauty of homeschooling. It doesn't have to look the same for everybody. Everyone has their own way to homeschool. Everyone's kids learn differently. So your homeschool by default is gonna be different than everyone else's. So while it's good to like research if you're like me and want to know the best practices of homeschooling, want to know what you should be doing and all that, that's cool. But just make sure that you are not forcing yourself to imitate someone else's homeschool, because just because it works for them, it's not going to work for you. And more importantly, it might not work for your child. So just make sure that you're keeping that in mind. And yeah, that's pretty, oh wait, this one's very important. If you're used to your kids going to school, budget extra for food, because for some reason, your kids will always be hungry. So just budget a little bit extra for your food. But other than that, that's all the tips that I have for you for homeschooling. All the things that I wish I would have known before we began our homeschooling journey. And yes, I heard all these things before. I heard it in different videos. One person would say something, another person would say the other thing, but you don't really understand them until you go through the process. So if you're thinking about homeschooling, just go for it. It's beautiful, it's rewarding, but it is also one of the hardest things that I have ever done. But yeah, if you are homeschooling already, let me know in the comments what you wish you would have known. Because I would love to just hear what you wish you would have known, if they're the same, if they're different. But yeah, that's it for now. And I hope y'all have a great day. Bye.